Hi everyone! If you're new here, I'm Allen with Earthglow, and this channel is all about sharing the joy of candle making. So it's a beautiful fall day, and I have my windows open, and there's like cars going by and airplanes and all kinds of stuff. So if you hear any noise, it's just because I want to enjoy this beautiful fall weather. But yeah, today's video is going to be a follow-up on the wax melts. So all the fragrances that I tested out, that one is cashmere and vanilla, by Makesy. And I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 or more into wax melts. And I did go ahead and cure those and test burn, or I should say melt, a lot of them. So this video is going to be kind of following up on that, as well as just providing some general I guess my personal opinions and sort of thoughts on the company as a whole. But anyways, if this is something that you're interested in, then I hope that you're subscribed, and I hope that you keep on watching. So I guess before we get into the wax melts and what I thought of them and kind of some footage from making them to the test, I keep wanting to say test burns, but test melting, I guess you say, of them. I just kind of want to say a few things about Makesy as a whole, kind of what I like about the brand and what I sort of don't like. And you all know that this channel is really geared towards you all, and I kind of do put myself on the line in order to do that. It's really important for me to be able to share my unfiltered opinions on this channel and just my experiences and my journey of making candles and handmade products. So yeah, so I do want to just say a few kind of blunt things. First, I'll start off with what I really like about the company. I really like their branding, from how their website is laid out to sometimes the emails that you get. I do think that maybe they send a few too many of those, but most companies I think do. And I also really like how their fragrances are named, like for what the individual scents are, and like the fragrance notes, you'll see their fragrances called like cashmere and vanilla, cedar and myrrh, you know, black, amber, and orchid, just kind of like very straightforward names. And I love their photography, their branding, all of that. Even more than their branding, I really like how their fragrances, with the ingredients that they're putting in them, I would say that they're kind of parallel to what Candle Science is doing with their clean scents. So basically that they're phthalate free, they don't contain any organ toxins, reproductive toxins, or acute toxins. They don't contain any mutagens or carcinogens or anything on Prop 65. They don't contain animal derivatives. So there's just a whole list of things that you can kind of look for. They're cruelty free, all that good stuff. And so I really, really, really value as a maker just knowing that I'm putting the cleanest products on the market. I don't know if you can hear my wind chimes outside, but the leaves are like blowing. I'll try to put some footage in of my autumn walks. It makes me just absolutely love the Midwest. But yeah, so back to Makesy. So yeah, I think that, like I was saying, with their fragrances, you know that you're having the cleanest products on the market, and very similar to like the Candle Science clean scents type of a thing. So those are some of my favorite things about the brand. And I do also want to talk about some of the things that I don't really like. And I don't have a list or any sort of notes. This is all just kind of in my head, and I wanted to just sort of have a candid talk with you all, just as a whole, about this brand. And I hope that you all, that no one gets offended and that people take this in the right way, because it's really just my experience. And as I always say, please do your own research, your own testing. Don't base your opinions off of my experience. But that said, this platform is to try to help other candle makers through sharing my experience, if that's helpful and useful to you. So yeah, so some things that I don't really care for about the brand. I think that their shipping time could use a little bit of work, but I can sort of get past that if the products are really affordable and really great quality and really clean ingredients. And I think that 2 of those 3 are pretty much there. I would say that they're really clean ingredient products in general, but the pricing is very, very high on a lot of things, and they are marketing more along the price lines of Stone Candles or 1617, which are luxury companies. And Stone Candles also does have a bulk candle makers discount where you can get things if you give them your business information for a lot cheaper in bulk. And Makesy, although they do have some bulk options, I just think that, you know, paying, you know, $70 to $90 for a 16-ounce bottle on some of the oils that I really like, I think that that is just up there for me to a point where I don't want to have to reflect that in my prices. So I guess with that said, if I am gonna buy something from this company, and I do already purchase from them and I have for years, I've gotten all my wooden wicks, as most of you know, from Makesy, and I have played around with some of their other products as well. But the fragrances were kind of a newer thing that I just recently started trying out. And yeah, so I think that if I was gonna have one of those in my line, I would want it to be something that I was just through and through head over heels for, in order to be paying those types of prices. And some of their oils are lower priced. Like they have some that I wanna say they're like $40 for a 16-ounce bottle, which, you know, I think that's pretty reasonable for a kind of more upscale company. I would pay that, but you know, when you start getting into $50, $60, $70, $80, and even $90 for a 16-ounce bottle, I've got to be head over heels for it. And I would say, I'm gonna be fully transparent with you all, like I had that one rose fragrance that they have, let's see where it is. It's called, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to put the name up on the screen, but it's their iconic rose fragrance that I was really head over heels for. I had an 8-pound bucket of that in my cart today because I just got an email from them saying that they were having a 22% off sale on their fragrances. And so I guess I would say that I would consider buying oils from them, some oils from them, if the fragrances were on sale. Like that 22% off would bring something down, you know, that's $80 to, what is that, like $16 off? So, you know, like $64, but that's still up there. The last thing that I want to say that I really dislike about this company, and again, I'm just being totally unfiltered here with you all, and I hope that none of this is taken in the wrong way. But so they have this video where they basically go on about their quality, and they say that, you know, it's nothing like the oils of, and then they have like a Candle Science bottle and a Brambleberry bottle, and as if those oils are so subpar to what theirs are. And to me, that just, I guess once I saw that video, it just kind of really hit me the wrong way. And because those are two of my favorite brands personally, and I just love so much about both Candle Science and Brambleberry myself. And so maybe I'm just biased in that way, but that video just, it really rubbed me in the wrong way and just kind of made me think that, you know, that makes them look really small as a brand. And they advertise themselves as like the largest supplier of higher end candle making products, and then they're putting down other companies. Like, to me, that makes someone look pretty small when they have to put other people down like that in order to build themselves up. So anyways, yeah, so those are kind of some things that I didn't really like as much about the brand. That all said, I want to get into my feedback and some footage. So sit back and relax, and I'm going to take you all back in time about a month and a half to when I first made these oils into test wax melts. Their little 10 milliliter samples will make about 1 wax melt. So I made all of these into melts, like 10 of the fragrances, and I just want to put a little bit of footage up of that. And I did test these in my beeswax, soy, and cocoa cream wax blend, and it is the exact same blend that I use in my larger candles. And I will put a link up to the video with the recipe that you can watch if you're interested in trying out my blend. It is free and open for all of you to try it out if you're interested. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna put up some footage, and then I'm gonna come back and kind of give you all my, I don't want to say final thoughts, but just kind of my thoughts as of now. melting down the Orchid in Black Amber. And I did go ahead and put 3 into my wax melter. And again, these were made at 10% strength. So I'm excited to see how this one's gonna do. I can already smell it a little bit. And this was one of the scents that produced the strongest CT, in addition to the Calabrian, Lilac, and Lemon, as well as there were a couple others, but this one had a very good cold throw, I would say. Okay, so the hot throw on this Black Orchid in Amber, I think it's called, is Orchid in Black Amber. It's incredible. It's filling my whole bedroom, and so this is only at a 10% strength as well. I did let these cure though for like maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but holy cow, it's incredible. And so for this next one, I want to try this Shishi, Yuzu, and sea salt. And I'm also gonna put 3 into this melter. And yay, I'm so excited. And this scent was also one of the ones that had the strongest, one of the stronger cold throws, I would say. This was also one of the scents that there were a few of you that recommended this. So if you're watching, drop me some hearts in the comments. I'm so happy so far with this scent. So this is the pumpkin maple chai and sweet cream. You guys, I did not think that the scent was all that. And when I got it into the melter, like, first of all, after it started curing and I really was smelling it, it just came to life. And in the wax melter, it just fills the whole room, and it like goes even into the stairwell. And I'm just in love with the scent. It is very strong. I think you could get away with using less cubes of this one, but I did use 3 wax cubes, just like I've been doing for all of these. So this is Cashmere and Vanilla by Makesy, and this one kind of surprised me. It seemed very light out of the bottle, and when I first made it into the melt, it seemed very light, but this one does fill up my bedroom, which is a medium-sized room. And it's definitely lighter than some of their other scents, but I actually find it very pleasant, and I'm surprised by that. I wasn't expecting to have this one be as noticeable, actually, because of how light it seemed out of the bottle. Oh, and I want to give an update too on Cedar and Myrrh. Unfortunately, this one was just a little bit too light for me. So I had this one going in my bedroom, and I used 3 of these just standard size wax melt little chunks, and this one, it just was very light. So I loved it out of the bottle, but unfortunately just a little bit too light for me. Okay, so now I want to bring you all back into the present moment and just talk a little bit about some of these scents that I really liked, and then some that just didn't quite do it for me, and I guess some that I'm looking forward to trying, and just kind of where I'm at right now. Will I actually be purchasing these, etc. So one of my all-time favorites was this Orchid in Black Amber, and this one, the cold throw was not very good on it at first, and after a couple of weeks, I feel like it really cured. And when I made this into melts, I think I should have had some footage that you saw, but this just filled my bedroom, and I used 10% on all of my wax melts. And yeah, this Orchid in Black Amber was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know that it was $90 for a 16-ounce bottle gorgeous. Like, I would say if you can get it for 22% off, it would be worth it, but I don't think I would pay $90 for a 16-ounce bottle of it. But yeah, exceptional hot throw, and that was at 10%. And I do use a substantial amount of beeswax in my blend, so you may even be able to get a stronger throw with less. Okay, so this next one is the Maple Chai and Sweet Cream, and this one, I keep going back and forth on whether or not I actually like it. I feel like it's a beautiful, definitely elevated sort of gourmand, and I definitely get the maple, I get the chai, I get the sweet cream. It's not overly spice heavy. You get a lot of cream notes to it. It's kind of along the lines of like a black cardamom and cream like Candle Science has, or if you like those types of cardamom and fig type fragrances. But this is a little bit more sweet and gourmand and sort of cinnamon roll, soft pretzel verging on, but in a very elevated way. And yeah, so I keep going back and forth. I go from I really like it to it's kind of sickeningly sweet to I just kind of don't know. And this one, I don't know exactly if it was $70 for a 16-ounce bottle or not, but maybe it was $60. But again, like if you're looking for kind of an elevated gourmand fragrance that's along these lines, kind of like an elevated cinnamon roll type of a scent, but that's a little bit more baked to like doughy, I would definitely consider this. But otherwise, you know, I feel like you could get Snickerdoodle by Candle Science or by the Flaming Candle, or you could get Artisan Bread by Midwest and do just as well. The next one I want to talk a little bit about is the Cedar and Myrrh. And I did mention, I think in my footage, that this one, although it was just beautiful, and I wish that this would have come through more, because the myrrh and the cedar, it's so earthy and natural, but it's so faint. I could barely even smell it in a medium-sized room walking in there after several hours, so I would just have to pass. And then I also want to talk about this Shishi, Yuzu, and Sea Salt. This is one that you all recommended, and I really liked it, but I just feel like this one to me wouldn't really be worth what they were charging for it, and I also feel like at 10% I wasn't able to get the throw that I was looking for. And I know some people may say like, Alan, use more, it's a wax melt, you know, use 16% or whatever, or 15%, but when you're paying that much, if you use 15%, then you're paying 50% more for your oil, and your fragrance oil is probably your most expensive component of those melts. So do you want to have that reflected in your prices or not? And that's just a question that I'm earnestly asking you. You know, you want to be asking yourself these questions when you're making decisions on what to carry and what your price points are, and you know, do you want to reflect these types of costs? And to me, I would pass on this. I think it's beautiful. I think it's earthy. I think it's ocean-like. I think it's definitely elevated. Would I consider it luxury? It's debatable. I'd go back and forth on this Shishi, Yuzu, and Sea Salt. I wished it were a little bit stronger. I think after like the second or third time that I had these going in the wax melter, I just wasn't smelling it as much, so, you know. And then the next one I want to talk about is Harvested Sumac and Campfire. Now, this fragrance, I will have to say, I may just break down and buy a 16-ounce bottle of this one, probably in the fall, and put it in my rustic collection. I would probably play around with blending this with Campfire Marshmallow or with a bourbon fragrance of some sort, and have it in my rustic line. It's really special. You get the sumac, you get the campfire notes. It's not a smoke in your hair type of a scent. I always give Candle Science a hard time, and Stone Candles a hard time, because I think that their fireside type fragrances are very like, they smell like smoke in someone's hair after they've been at a fire to me. And this Harvested Sumac and Campfire is definitely more along the lines of like a campfire and marshmallow, or a marshmallow and fireside, or a vanilla pumpkin marshmallow type of a scent. But this one to me is just a little bit more elevated, and I will say that I wish the hot throw was a little bit better on this one. Even after curing for like a month, I just wasn't quite getting the throw that I wanted. But yeah, like I said, I may just break down in the fall and buy a 16-ounce bottle of this one. All right, next I want to talk about one of my all-time favorites, and another one that I admittedly had in my cart this morning when I saw that they had a 22% off sale. This is Calabrian Lemon and Lilac Leaves, and forgive the wax on my clamshells here. This fragrance is the most gorgeous lilac and lemon I've ever smelled. This takes me right to Italy, right to Calabria, you know, near Sicily. It's just stunning. Like, it's like the essential oils, like lilac and Meyer lemon, just taken up to like the nines. It's so inspired, and just like when I'm smelling this, I'm literally like regretting not purchasing it, and because I told myself I was gonna wait. But this oil right now, I don't know if the video is going to be live while they're still having their sale, but you can get a 16-ounce bottle of this oil for like $44, and I would say it's worth that at 22% off. If you need a good like lemon, lilac, lavender type of a scent, I love Mayfield by 1617, but I think that this one has a stronger throw. And this one does have more of the lemon in it, whereas Mayfield is more of like a lavender vanilla. So I'd say that they're kind of complementary, and I might even play with blending them. But yeah, so Calabrian Calabrian lemon and lilac leaves is definitely a hit in my book, and it's one that I will be considering adding to my line. And I will say that the 10% in the wax melts, I had these going in my kitchen area. I don't think I had any footage. I didn't record every single time, but they were just filling the whole like kitchen and shipping room, and that was at 10% in a wax melt that has a substantial amount of beeswax. So, you know, I would say it's a very, very, very good thrower. And then the other one that I'd mentioned was this cashmere and vanilla. I think I recorded the footage trying this one out. It has almost no cold throw when I'm smelling this. Excuse me. I'm smelling this now and there's like no cold throw. But when I had this going in my bedroom, it did fill the room, kind of the half of the room where the melter was. And that was after several hours, and it was a lighter scent, but a very, very beautiful, subtle, elevated vanilla, I would say. So, you know, for what it's worth, I don't know how much this oil is right now, but, you know, if this oil was like $40 for a 16-ounce bottle, I still might pass on it just because it's really light, and that's in a wax melt, so a candle's probably gonna be even lighter. And then the last three here, I did not actually try these out yet in my melter, but again, I just kind of wanted to give you all a report of where I was at. This one here is the Bergamot and Ambergris, and this was one of my favorites out of the bottle, but I will say that this one is kind of more perfume-like than I might like, actually, surprisingly, and the CT is not very good. At least not in my wax melts. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. I will definitely try this one out, and if any of you are curious what I thought, but yeah, this one was one of my favorites out of the bottle, and I'm wishing it would give me some more CT. All right, and then this natural golden oud and myrrh. I also have not tried this one. I don't even really like the smell of it. It hardly has any cold throw, and the smell of it is sort of, it's kind of like a camphor mixed with a woody type of a scent, but there's something in it. It may be the combination of the oud and the myrrh that to me just doesn't really go in this application, so I may not even try this one in my melter. It's just really, it's sort of flat to me. And then this one here is the Yuzu Blossoms and Hinoki. And this is one of my favorites out of the bottle as well, but the cold throw to me, I'm just kind of so-so about. I mean, if this were a $20 or $30 fragrance for a 16-ounce bottle, I would definitely strongly consider grabbing it, but it's just not. And so, you know, I'm holding these to a much higher standard because you're paying double, triple, quadruple even the price for these oils. And the last one that I want to talk about, I looked all around the house trying to find, but I don't know what I did with it. This is my favorite of all the melts that I made and all the scents that I tried from Makesy. And unsurprisingly, I think a lot of you would agree, it is Dark Rose and Labdanum. Now, this fragrance it's groundbreaking, like it's breathtaking. It's, if you're looking for that sexy, dusky, Parisian type of a rose that's also just enchanted, I mean, that fragrance is it. Dark Rose and Labdanum by Makesy is it. And it's a very expensive oil. I think right now, the 8-pound bucket that I had in my cart, when I did the math, at 22% off, I would have been paying for those 16-ounce bottles. Again, I'd have to get 8 of them. It would be, I think, like 50 some dollars, but that's per 16-ounce bottle is what it would break down to, so it's like a 5% savings, and then there's already a 25% or 22% off right now, and I'm kind of back and forth on it. I'd really have to have a clear place as to what I would do with it, and what I was thinking was maybe replacing my Paris candle, which currently is Bays by Stone Candles, with the Makesy fragrance, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it's worth that. I mean, I may decide again that I like the stone candles that I've had. It could just be, you know, that I just smelled the Makesy one and that I was really intrigued by it, but it may, I may change my mind. I don't really know, and I don't want to end up with 8 pounds of it. I feel like that's just too much of one oil when I have so many candles. Now, I do have 8-pound buckets of some fragrances, but at that price point, you know, I'd have to be making several hundred of those candles of that 1 scent in a year and selling them to really make sure that my oil doesn't go bad on me, and I don't think that I'm ready to do that yet. But I will say that the wax melts were out of this world in terms of the hot throw, and I mean, again, it's filling with a 10% fragrance load in a wax melt that contains a lot of beeswax. It's filling an open area of a house where you can smell it, you know, pretty much along that whole open area. And so I would say that's an exceptional hot throw. So yeah, the dark rose and labdanum, the Calabrian lemon and lilac leaves, and the harvested sumac and campfire, I would have to say are the ones that I have been off and on like, oh, should I add this to my line? Should I figure out how to make this work? Because they're just really just breathtaking fragrances. But, you know, like I said, you really need to do the math and figure out if it's worth it because of the price points on these oils. But anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment down below if you use any of these oils or which fragrances from Makesy you like, or what your feelings are on the company as a whole. I do expect to keep everything on the up and up in the comment section, and if there are any kind of nasty comments, I will just be removing them because I don't want that energy on my channel, and I don't think that any of you will comment anything that's like that. I think that, you know, keeping the vibe high is something that is really important to me, and keeping good energy flowing is so important to me on this channel. But anyways, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell, tap the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from me. And I'm sending everyone peace, love, and light, and I'm wishing all of you happy candle making.